Hello friends, last class I discussed about the projections and the different projection methods. So two important projection methods are, one is parallel projection and second one is perspective projection, right? Parallel projection is nothing but it is a method for generating a view of a three-dimensional scene is to project points to the view plane along the parallel lines. So it is a representation of a three-dimensional scene to project it points to the view plane along the parallel lines. So second important method is perspective projection. So it is a method for generating a view of a three-dimensional scene is to project points to the view plane along the converging path. So it is a method of generating a three-dimensional scene along the converging paths. So these are the two important projection methods here, right? So as you can see, so in this figure, so this is an illustration of three parallel projection views of a object which will show the different viewing positions. So this is the top viewing position, this is the side viewing position, and this is the front viewing position of this particular object. So these are what the different projections here, right? So the next important method is depth cueing. So as you know that, so depth cueing is an important method here. So as we know that it is very much important, or it is very much necessary to identify or to specify the depth information in a three-dimensional scene, so that we can easily identify what is the front and what is the back of each displayed object for a particular viewing direction, right? So as you can see in these figures, so these are what the view frame representation of a pyramid. So here the depth information is not specified, so that it is very difficult to identify what is front and what is back of the displayed object for a particular viewing direction, right? That's why I told depth information is very important, right? And without depth information, the ambiguity will result when a wireframe object is to be displayed, right? And there are the different ways in which we can include the depth information in a two-dimensional representation of solid object, right? So one such important method is depth cueing here. So actually it is a simple method for indicating a depth with a wireframe display is to vary the brightness of line segments according to their distances from the viewing position. So actually in this method, a wireframe display is represented by varying the brightness of the line segment according to their distances from the viewing position. For example, as you can see in this particular figure, right? So it will show the wireframe object, right? So here the lines which are closest to the viewing position, they are displayed with highest intensity, right? And the lines which are farther from the viewing position, they are displayed with so decreasing intensity. So this depth cueing method, it is applied by choosing a maximum and minimum intensity value and a range of distances over which the intensity is to vary, right? So some of the applications, right, of this depth cueing are, one application is modeling the atmospheric effect on the perceived intensity of the object. So here a more distant object appear dimmer to us than the nearer object due to the light scattering by the noise like dust particles, smoke, right? So this is what one application. Second application is some atmospheric effect can even change the perceived color of an object. Here we can model this atmospheric effect with the depth cueing. So these are the two important applications of depth cueing method, right? So apart from this depth cueing, there are also other techniques to identify the visible lines or to specify the depth information. So one such technique is highlighting the visible lines and displaying those lines in different colors. So this technique may also give you the depth information. And the second technique is indicate the non-visible lines or indicate the hidden lines as the dashed lines, or remove the non-visible lines, right? but here removing the non-visible lines is not preferable one, because if you remove the non-visible lines, in turn it remove the information about the shape of the back surface of an object. But the wireframe representation are generally used to get an indication of the overall appearance, that is both front and back appearance of the object. So removing the non-visible lines is not preferable, right? So the third important method, that is the next important method, is surface rendering. So this technique is basically used for generating the realistic view of a scene, right? Here the back parts of the objects are completely eliminated so that only the visible surfaces are displayed, and in this case the surface rendering procedures are applied so that the screen pixels contain only the color patterns for front surfaces. That is what the surface rendering technique is, and this surface rendering technique is used to attain the realism, right, as I told. And in order to add or in order to attain the realism in the display by rendering the object surfaces, it means that the surface rendering method can be applied here by using the lighting conditions in the scene and assigned surface characteristics, right? So by using these two methods we can apply this surface rendering method in order to attain the realism or to attain the realistic view of a scene, right? So here we can easily set the lighting parameters or the lighting conditions by specifying the color and location of the light source, and we can also set the background illumination effects. And the second method, that is surface properties. So here surface properties of the object include whether the surface is transparent or the surface is opaque, and also whether the surface is smooth or rough. So like this we can set the lighting conditions and the surface properties here. So here we can set these parameter values in order to model the surfaces such as glass, plastic, wooden grain patterns, and the bumping appearance of an orange, right? So such surfaces we can easily model by setting these parameter values. And in color plate 9, surface rendering methods are combined with perspective and the visibility surface identification in order to generate a degree of realism in a display scene.